Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Burak and I'm an astrologer and I channel the energy of Archangel Metatron. I've had a relationship with him since I was a little girl, and now I agreed to prophesy using the tools of astrology for the planet with him. So, and that's what I do in the healing work that I do as well. I basically use the natal chart as a tool to help us, find what's causing the blocks, or why there are psychic gifts that are being blocked, whatever you're feeling blocked from, or whatever issues are going on related to money or relationships, whatever. It's all your stuff is in your chart. So that's what I do. And I wanted to apologize. This is coming out a lot later than it was planned to come out. But, whenever you see the video, it's the right time to see it. And I wanted to thank everyone who has subscribed and liked and comments and shares my videos. I wanted to also mention, when you do see someone trolling on my page, that you could leave a comment to alert me that there are comments that need to be looked at. Sometimes they get missed, but I have seen people interact with people who are just obviously making nasty comments because they've seen probably the End of Corruption video or the follow-up to it, and they feel like now they need to keep constantly saying things on my page, which brings me to my next point about, I just wanted to make sure to mention and to thank everyone who participated in the healing work that we did on 11/11. It was very exciting. We had over 140 people live that morning. And then even before I've put it out there, a lot of people have downloaded the video on Vimeo. The reason that the video is on Vimeo and not on YouTube is because this is sacred work that needs to be protected. And Metatron wants to ensure that the people who are coming from a place of integrity and legitimately want to help heal the planet through the energy of unconditional love, through the energy of the light, that those are the ones viewing it, not just people looking to troll YouTube channel. So it's only $1.11. I'm not looking to make a lot of money on it. And once you have it, feel free to share it. You don't have to tell people go and buy the link themselves. You can share it with them once it's yours. I just wanted to be sure that this wasn't something for people, who aren't serious about the work, don't believe in this, to just dirty it up. I just didn't feel right about that. So anyway, I would like it if you bought it and you shared it with people that are here to help the planet. That's awesome. So feel free, I'll put the link in the description box below. And then once you have it, it's $1.11 just because, I don't think that any troll is going to waste $1.11 just to troll something. So yeah, that's why. So we are talking about, these are reflecting so much. We are talking about the full moon in Gemini today. And that's why this video is so late. I had spoken on the fall equinox video. For those of you who didn't watch it, you may want to go back and look at that, because those energies were what he was talking about, like through, up to the winter solstice at least. And in the video, normally what happens is that Metatron and I are always talking. And when I'm, coming up to doing a video, then he'll be more specific about, like, this is good to bring up, and this goes along with this, and he'll, give me insights. And when I sit down to make a video, I know pretty much what I'm going to say. But that video, while I was making it, I pulled cards, and then he was adding he was saying a lot of things about shocking revelations and things, that you had, truths that were going to come to light that would bring a big shift, okay? And he was talking about that individually and collectively. He was talking about it a lot in relation to love relationships. Anyway, what was brought to my attention a few days ago was so shocking and really rocked my world, rocked me to the core. I couldn't even really take it in. And, you know, he had given a lot of downloads beforehand that I would be able to absorb the shock of it and that I would be able to understand the truth of it, because it was something for years that I had counted on and it was no longer. So that's one of the reasons that it's late, because I just thought, you know what? I'm a human being and I feel like shit. And I just let myself, you know, the key is like not to wallow in that and stay there. And I didn't really go to poor me. It was more just like, why would I have agreed to something like this? And I just felt betrayed. I felt betrayed by my higher self. And I did, you know, when I did want to speak to her again, I did find out her reasoning for why that happened, and I worked on that. You know, our higher selves are still evolving too. They're still ascending too. Everyone is on the path to ascension. Every single person, whether they know it or not. You were in lifetimes that you, like, it's like we begin incarnating and we start ascending at the same time. Okay, so I didn't really, I just, anyway, I needed a couple of days to take it in. And then I also have client stuff going on. So I had a family emergency in there too. So I have Uranus on my ascendant, you know, it's just, and this is going to keep happening. And I just have to let go. And like when I let go, when I'm talking about letting go, and really everybody is in the same boat, even though Uranus isn't maybe on your ascendant. Uranus is in a 90-degree angle to the nodes of fate, to the nodes of the moon, okay? Which means that for the next period, and I'm talking all of next year, going into 2020, a bit of 2020, that square is going to keep happening because the nodes move, you know, slowly, and Uranus moves slowly, and he goes back and forth. And so they're going to keep having that conversation. And so just knowing that things are going to, that the flow may not be so flowy. The flow might be like, whoop, whoop. That's really like what we're learning. You just to let go and just to let, you know, things come. So yeah, that was what was happening with me, and it was in relation to the full moon, of course. And so I'm usually, like I say, canary in the coal mine kind of thing. And so I'm not saying that everybody is going to have a revelation or something, you know, come out that will rock them to their core. May not be the time for you that this happens, but the energy is set up for it. And so individually and collectively, what he was speaking about in that fall equinox video about finding out truths about relationships, or someone that, anybody that we're in relationship with, it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic partner, but, you know, just to prepare yourself and know that always everything is coming together for our benefit. And when these things happen, just being able to center ourselves and know that we're safe. We've got the North Node in Cancer, which is going to be, like I mentioned before it went in, that we're going to have issues of insecurity that we're going to be dealing with. And that goes right along with the Uranus and the nodes of fate, you know, that feeling that, you know, well, I don't, you know, and it's more just that we need to learn to be, that we're still here. Everything is okay. You know, we're always supported by all that is through the energy of unconditional love, and that change happens. If there's stagnation, there's death. Everything is always evolving and changing. So yeah, that's just a heads up for everybody. It was really shocking. And while I was doing the reading, I remember thinking like, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with me. But, you know, Metatron doesn't, none of the angels, no one's ever going to, spirit even, won't interfere with your plan. And so if we're not all straight with all aspects of ourselves, and remembering that our higher self is not the ultimate authority. The ultimate authority is spirit, is the creator. And so if we don't have all of that in alignment, and unbeknownst to me, I had no idea that I had things going on like that. But yeah, it was kind of like any means to an end, and giving me incentive to work towards something that wasn't actually there. So, you know, having to deal with all of that and feeling that loss. And anyway, so Anyway, I'm just sharing this because I know that a lot of times things will play out for me sooner. So we're going to talk about this whopper of a full moon that we have coming up. So if you look over here, we've got, do you see the sun? Mercury is the little guy who looks like he has antennas sticking out of his head. And then we've got Jupiter, who looks like that funny number 4. And right in the mix is Saint Michael, the asteroid Saint Michael, the energy of Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is about the truth. And they are all together in the sign of truth in Sagittarius. Jupiter there blowing up like the sun. You know, full moons are about illumination because the sun is directly, you know, facing the moon and shining all of the light on the moon, bringing illumination to the moon. And so we always have some illumination. We come to some illumination. It's a time of releasing as well. Full moons, when things come to fruition and during the time of the full moon. And so whatever revelations come out, because Gemini, where the moon is there, you can see the moon up there. Gemini is, or the moon is at the first degree of Gemini. Pretty close behind him is Juno, who represents our partner in this lifetime. And then Sedna, who is the story of the patriarchy and the female, a loss for the female. And then on the descendant, if you see the circle with the cross in the middle, that is the part of fortune. And it brings an emphasis, okay, to wherever it is. The descendant, which is what is directly across from your ascendant, is what you're blind to. And it's what you don't like about yourself and that you aren't even aware of. So that'll be the sign opposing your ascendant, whatever your ascendant is. And then, you know, whatever planets are there. So the fact that that the part of fortune is on the descendant, it's almost an energy of what he just said, being blindsided. And I was. But, you know, and there's questions here because if you look in the middle of that triangle down there, you see that's Neptune, okay? Now, Neptune has been retrograde since April, or 6 months ago. He went retrograde about 6 months ago. And he is stationed now to turn direct. He's a big boy. He's way out there. You know, he's stopping in the sky in order to come forward. And whenever he does that, there's a revelation of some kind for everybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be some big thing, but usually some truth will come out. A secret will come out, or a truth, something that we've been deceived about. And then we find out the true story or the full story. And so because he is, you know, the moon is answering to Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde right now. And he's in the constellation of truth, but he's retrograde. And you know, Mercury, that trickster energy that we get with Gemini. But the fact that Michael is with Jupiter, and Jupiter expands things, makes me really believe, and especially because it happens to me personally, it makes me think that whatever revelations come are the truth, okay? Now, this could be something that's fluid, you know, like maybe something comes out and we don't know the whole story, and maybe there is, like he's showing me morsels of untruth mixed in there. So I think that that's what he's talking about more. Well, okay, so I was going to say more for the collective, but he's saying any situation. So any situation, you know, where you find things out. What else did I want to say about this? You know, Jupiter is in his own sign now in Sagittarius, which we talked about in the Jupiter entering Sagittarius video that I did, which is a great energy. You know, Jupiter is the guru, so we're all going to spend the next year together realizing the wisdom that we each have within us, not looking outside ourselves for a guru to show us the way. We can be the way shower. We have enough wisdom. We've gained enough wisdom. We're allowed to go directly to source or to Metatron. You know, any higher authority figure kind of thing to find the truth. We can check on it with them, but looking at it like for through other people, or just following other people, what they decide is the truth, and then that's what it is for you too. That's not what this energy is about. It's about coming into your own wisdom. And then what he kept emphasizing with me today is that it's about sharing our wisdom, publicizing, he's saying, using the pulpit, whatever size pulpit you have, to share your truth and your wisdom. And if that's through writing, this is a great time for, if you'd like to start a writing project, you maybe wait till Mercury goes forward. But if you're, if you're just listening and taking in the information, and he's going to correct me on that. He's saying that it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. Sorry, that was the astrologer in me. But yeah, and you really, like with this Mercury retrograde, I'm going to say, because of Mercury with Jupiter, that's a lot of exaggerating. And it can also be a lot of making maybe too many purchases for Christmas. Make sure to save your receipts this year, because Mercury is going to be retrograde pretty much the whole, well, no, I think it's the 6th he starts moving forward again. But anyway, this is when you want to be careful. I hope I'm getting to people before Black Friday about spending way too much money, because that could happen with this energy. We've got Venus still coming up again to oppose Uranus, which is shock and awe and all of that too. So this is really the chart that when I was looking at it, even if that hadn't happened the way that it happened, this is the chart of that. The fall equinox energies that he was talking about have a lot to do with this. And then this is also the first of 5 full moons that we're going to have. And by the way, this is happening in England. It's in London. It's 5:39 a.m. on the morning of the 23rd. For Central Standard Time in the United States, it's 11:39 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. So Thanksgiving Day, the sun is going to move into Sagittarius, and then I think that we're going to feel lighter energy. Mind you, Venus is getting ready to come into Scorpio now. She's going to be doing the cleanup work for what Jupiter didn't get to. And if you looked right now in the sky, like if you have one of those apps, I can't remember what the app is called. I know everybody's telling me what the app is called, where you shine it at the sky. Skyview, I think it's called. I use it, and when it shows you where a planet is right now in the sky, Jupiter has actually just entered Scorpio, according to that. And that, I give credence to that as well, to sidereal astrology. I definitely do. So this can, again, if we're talking about something in relation to partner, for me it was a betrayal. It could be something to do with a betrayal, something Scorpio, so something like a dirty secret kind of thing. Could even be related to money, is what he's saying. Gambling, addiction, I mean, you name it. Also with Mars just starting in Pisces, the lower energies of that would have to do with dependence on alcohol or substances that keep us from being sober and grounded. So this is a really, especially in the holiday season, for Mars going through Pisces. I know holiday season, it can be a time of relapse for a lot of people who are recovering. Please keep that in mind with these energies, that this, that you want to be really careful with using substances, alcohol, in order to dilute the pain, or just as a means of escape. This will be, Neptune is in his sign of Pisces, and that way it's awesome, because it's bringing in downloads and truth and, spirit and the energies of light to the planet. It also is a lot of ungrounded energy, and especially with Mars being there now until January 1st, and then he will enter his own sign of Aries. So we've got Neptune in his sign of Pisces. We've got Mars in his sign of Aries. We have Saturn in his own sign of Capricorn. And we have Jupiter in his own sign of Sagittarius. Venus will soon leave Libra, but right now she's in her own sign of Libra. Mars isn't going to move into Aries until January 1st, but for the next year, we've got Jupiter in his home sign. We have Saturn in Capricorn, and that's about our building your legacy with something with honor and integrity that you'll leave on the earth. And, you know, Saturn wants us to build something. He's not just about being the Lord of karma and all that scary kind of stuff. Saturn's trying to bring us lessons in order to help us build something, to bring us structure, is what he's saying. And then Neptune in Pisces. So we've got that going on for a year for sure, that we have all of these planets in their home signs. And these are big guys in their home sign. So in that way, this is a perfect time to reach for the stars, is what he's saying. You know, whatever it is that you're planning on building, Neptune is about the fact that we are limitless, that we are infinite, that we can bring our dreams into reality. And you've got Jupiter there in Sagittarius, who's like, yeah, go for it, go for it, go for it, and wants us to expand and is about bringing us opportunities. Opportunities could come to light for expansion during this full moon energy, because you've got, you know, the sun and Jupiter right just together. And Mercury also relates to revenue, because Gemini is about trade and, you know, mercantile exchange, that kind of energy. So a good time to find, you know, to get revelation and to have inspiration, he's saying, like to carry you forward and help you bring that dream into reality. Got Saturn in Capricorn to help you build it. Neptune helping you envision it and, you know, get divine inspiration for it. And then Jupiter encouraging you, like, yes, yes, and bringing you opportunities and the right people right into your path. And, you know, so it's a really awesome energy. I'm just letting you know that this is like the energy where revelations come out that could be jarring, just so you're prepared for that. So it was nothing that I was expecting at all, really. So I did pull cards just because these glasses were reflecting so much. I'm going to have to keep my head down. Okay, so I pulled the cards from the Dragon deck, which that's just been coming up a lot for me lately. And then it actually went through as an advertisement in my newsfeed yesterday. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll pull those Dragon cards. So first we have the Earth and Air Dragon. Okay. So the Earth and Air elements relates to the air element is like the concept that we have of it. It could be writing to its communication intelligence. And then the earth is how we implement it, right? So this is where we're bringing that, all of that Neptunian and Jupiterian out there energy and into, like he's saying, and focusing to bring it into the earth, to plant the seed in the earth. So it says, stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, you know, with that air and earth energy for manifestation. And then I feel like these are, okay. And then Thor's red, black, and gold dragon. Okay, and this is what we were talking about in relation to Uranus and the nodes of fate. A time of rapid transition and transformation. Relax. You are safe. Let go. And I keep practicing that, what I put into the meditation that I did in the woods when I was in Northern California, where you're just feeling yourself supported and held by all that is through the energy of unconditional love. Just allowing yourself to feel that support, okay? Because this is, like I said, with that North Node going through Cancer and squaring Uranus, it's where we're feeling very insecure. Like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? You are safe. And then the Magenta Dragon. Okay. The Magenta Dragon, awaken your soul memories and higher spiritual understanding. Prepare for accelerated ascension. That's awesome. And that's that Jupiter in Sagittarius and Neptune in Pisces energy. It's so awesome. You know, we've got literally infinite possibilities for manifesting right now, okay? We've still got Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto, and that's planting the seed of your legacy, okay? Pluto rules the seeds of the earth, and it's water. It rules a water sign, and it's in that earth of Capricorn, that permanent, lasting legacy energy of Capricorn. Plant your seed. And then I really liked this. The dark blue galactic dragon. Okay. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. You know, Metatron talked to me a lot. He still talks to me about it. But more before I was finally able to get on YouTube. About keeping ourselves small. Because that's where we feel safe and we feel comfortable. You know, it's like in what we know. It's like a lot of people complain about, like, they don't like this happening in their life and they want to change this and they want to change that. But leaving the comfort zone is difficult, even when you really, really are thirsty for change. It's a difficult thing to do for a lot of us. You know, leaving your comfort zone and realizing that you're still safe, that you're supported, and then the codes of your master blueprint. You know, Saturn is the master and our self-mastery. And we're a lot, you know, ascended master, bringing your own ascended master energy into this timeline, fulfilling your dream and your vision and your work, knowing that you've already mastered this. You already know that you can do it. Your future self already sees that it's been done. You can do it. And then accessing cosmic wisdom and entering higher service. So that's been coming up a lot too in healings lately, is that there has to be some kind of sacrifice made. You know, like we want to be like Jesus. It's built into our DNA. I don't care what country you're from. But there's some religion that taught you or an ancestor a long time ago that you had to take a vow of silence, that you had to take a vow of poverty, that you had to be celibate, that you could never have children, that, I mean, you name it, that you had to give up something in order to prove that you could serve. Or in shamanic teachings, we had to take the energy, that work that we were doing, we literally took the physical sickness into our bodies, or took those energies into our energy in order to transmute them. We don't have to do that anymore, okay? We're the vessel and the conduit of the Creator, and we witness the Creator doing the healings. And all you have to do is just be willing. You don't have to give up anything. So you might want to make sure that all aspects of you understands that there is no sacrifice required. Jesus did give up his life in service, you know. Jesus's life was about teaching everyone how to be the Christ consciousness, how to live the energy of unconditional love in order to save the planet, you know. But that's an individual choice that we all choose to do, to come from that higher place of higher consciousness. And then also just being open and meditating. And really, I would really recommend, again, spending time in meditation right now, and the revelations that are going to come in. This is going to be awesome. And it's not just going to stop. You know, these energies, because the sun is still moving toward Jupiter and Mercury. Neptune hasn't even started moving forward at the time of the full moon. I believe it's the 25th that Neptune is going to turn it, or he's stationed direct, but he actually starts moving. It's the 25th or the 26th, depending on where you are. But that, you know, spending time and listening for what it is that they're wanting to share with you, because the energies are showing that there's definitely information coming in. And, you know, a lot of us have the subconscious thing. I don't know if anybody else heard that about, like, you know, being afraid of the truth. And, you know, some people, there's that old story, the truth hurts. And that's like in there, you know, too, in some aspect of us in our subconscious. So listening for and being open to hear the truth, you know, what is it that Archangel Michael would like to share with you? And then also he's saying, changing that to the truth is what sets us free. The truth sets us free. And so even though it's difficult to hear sometimes, and it's not pleasant to go through a shocking revelation, it still sets us free from the nonsense, right? So, Anyway, everybody, I will be back in a few days with the December video. The rest of November, it's just really a continuation of these energies, but I will pop in and let you know if there's anything else. I hope that everyone really enjoys Thanksgiving with your family, you know, taking time to appreciate those little things, maybe not talking too much because about politics or religion right now, because those are definitely, you know, we want to stay away from hot button issues with the energies like that for sure. But I hope that everybody really enjoys the long weekend for Thanksgiving as well. And I will talk to you again very soon. Blessings, everyone. Namaste.